Hi guys, I'm Saumya and I'm back again with another video. I hope you're all well and safe. So I make a lot of bookish content on my channel. So if you are a book lover and a reader, then do hit that subscribe button and don't forget to click on the bell icon. So in today's video, I want to talk about a book which was sent to me by the author, and that book is The Adventures of Little Kanya by Ashwini Sane. So let's get into the video. So the premise of the story is the goddess arising to defeat the Asur Tarakht. So the story begins with how gods are unable to defeat the Asur Tarakht because he has become extremely powerful due to the sins committed by the human beings. So in order to end the Asur, the goddess explodes herself, but the Asur shall rise again. So in order to defeat the Asur Tarakht when he rises again, the gods and the three chosen queens decide that they are going to protect the celestial seed until the avatar or the Kanya manifests in the real world. So because Isha is the Kanya, she is the avatar, she also has danger trailing her, and because of that her surroundings are also impacted and people around her also have to deal with the consequences of that. So Isha is somebody who is still discovering about herself because she is just a very young child and she is only 9 years old when this story begins properly. So there is a lot for her to find out about herself. So this story has the elements of mythology and fantasy. There is also a lot of adventure in this book as well. So now talking about my reading experience with this book, I had a great time with this book. It is very obviously a children's fiction, so I was able to read this book very quickly. But this book is a great choice to gift to your son or daughter or niece or nephew, especially if you want to inculcate the habit of reading in them, because this book has all the right elements. The language is very simple, the story is very interesting, this book on the whole is a page turner, and also the fact that it has quite a lot of elements from the Indian mythology is going to make this story very relatable to the young Indian readers. So what I liked about this book is its simplicity, both in terms of the story as well as in terms of the language and the writing. So this story has suitable twists and turns to keep the interest of the reader engaged, but at the same time it's not overcomplicated. And I am mentioning this specifically because this book is meant for young readers and the story should hook their interest, but it should not confuse them, and this book has dealt with that aspect very well. There is the balance present here. Another thing that I really appreciate about the story is how the avatar is a girl. Usually it's a boy, so this story is different in that regard, and that's very nice, I feel. So what I liked about this book is that the protagonist Isha is a good role model for the young readers because she's a good girl herself and she has impeccable morals. And also I really liked reading about the friendship Isha shares with her three classmates, and there are many fun and adventurous moments in this book here and there. On the whole, this book is not a very heavy read. It's actually quite light, but at the same time it's not so light that the story is bland. There are points and there are parts in the story that are a little bit ominous, that make sure that the story is gripping, and there are moments in the story that you don't see coming. So altogether the entire mix that the story has becomes quite engaging. Since this is the first book in the series, once you finish this book, you definitely want to read the books that are going to follow, and that's great because this book ends on a note where there are things that are yet to be revealed, and it not exactly ends on a cliffhanger, but it ends at a point which makes you interested in the stories that are going to follow. One thing that I mentioned in the beginning of the video was that this book seems more like a prelude rather than the actual story, because it does have adventurous parts and elements in it, but still the proper adventure hasn't yet unfolded in this book. But at the same time, the story that this book holds is sufficiently interesting. So on the whole, this story tries to incorporate different ranges of emotions for the reader to experience. You smile, you feel apprehensive, and you also get emotional in the story. So it tries to provide you a complete experience, which is great. On the whole, I definitely recommend this story and this book for young readers, especially if they want to begin reading and if they want to read a book that has this great combination of fantasy and mythology, because that becomes more interesting and this book offers that combination. So if you want to check this book out, I will leave the link for that in the description box. So that was my review of The Adventures of Little Kanya by Ashwini Sane. So I hope you found this review useful. As I said, if you want to check this book out, then the link will be in the description. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to connect with me on my social media, the links are in the description. I will see you in my next video. Till then, bye bye, take care and stay safe.